That is a very valid point, and very well could be why. But see, here's the thing. To be honest, what I would have liked to have seen come out of AA, because, like, honestly, I don't really care about AA, except for, like, specifically some of the different mutations and things that they do. I think, because, like, originally, AA was supposed to be fish that you can't get normally, right? So we've had a little bit of this conversation before, but a lot of those fish now bloop fish have been implemented back into the game, so you can get bloop fish normally in game now. Um,
I think it should be mutations you can't get in game.
well, hold on, I'm gonna dabble on that here in a second. So you kind of hit the nail on the head to a degree, but all of the fish that come out of AA are fish that you can get. You can get a Scylla, you can get a bloop now, you can get all those things, right? So, but to an extent, I feel like because they nerfed the price, right? So when they did the big nerf, they nerfed the price specifically because of a lot of it was because of the AA fish. And to a degree, what would have helped with that is not doing Goldstorm. But on top of that, like, because how can you nerf a fish that is already naturally in game, like a Scylla and whatever? So, like, but the AA ones don't do as well in your for sale or in your aquarium, but yet a normal one does better. That doesn't really make sense because how would a normal one theoretically do better than a mutated or a special or rare one? Like, logically, that doesn't really add up. So, what I think it should be is, like he said, they should do the mutations. So, they have different mutations, like the Ghastly that they did, or the granted, I did not like that event because like the I was catching mainly just fucking flounders, but occasionally I would get a ghost out of it, and I did end up getting a um what was that mutation? Uh
Soulless?
yeah, Solus. I really like that Solus mutation. Um so adding those mutations but giving you more than like just a ghost. But putting Solus on that actually something, but putting it where the so that way you get a little more guaranteed of a mutation from the admin events, but they're not worth still anything out of the aquarium or anything like that. So it would make more sense as to that how the fact that they're special fish that you can't get anywhere else. Because when I'm fishing up a regular normal Scylla from AA and it does less than my regular normal Scylla out of AA, it makes zero sense. So it should be like a mutation, like special mutation. Now, also back to the other thing I was about to state though, is I kind of enjoyed the last AA because it was new things that I haven't seen before, like the Ghastly, like the Soulless. Minus again, I didn't like the Soulless because all I was getting was bait crates and flounders rather than anything cool out of it. Um, but if they added cooler fish to it, like the ghosts or like a soulless snowman or a soulless
I
something.
did get you the soulless
Yeah,
ghoul
you
though.
got the ghoul. I didn't get it. I didn't get a single one, but you did. Um, but yeah, something cooler than just constant regular fish out of that one. I like seeing something different, and I think they should do that more frequently, where it's not the same AA every single week. Kind of like I feel like the same thing with the black markets. Put things on rotation, so it's not always the same thing, and it allows a chance to get different mutations, different items, different whatevers, especially for those who are collectors or have collection fish. Yeah, I think their dragons one kind of goes back to the same one reason with the bloop one specifically. And since they just implemented the dragon hunt totem is to try to get the Asterisk Wish quest completed, but which is why so going back to that, I think they thought more people were going to wish for Polaris than they had thought. I think that they thought it would be easier to get the ethereal dragon or the blue fish than they had thought. It makes me question honestly how many of them actually truly play the game that play the game in this current economy, for one, not the original economy, or that still have billions, um, for two. But because I don't think really any of them do. Um, but I think they thought these things were going to be easier to get to come by, and I think they're realizing, and I'm sure there are lots of people complaining that there's a lot of this that is difficult or tedious or time consuming for a rod that's limited, going back to the fact that it's limited, which is why they have yet to announce when supposedly this end date is going to end, which is probably why they're trying to push to a degree out some way to help, but yet they don't really like helping because they want it to be rare. It's like battling two sides and trying to walk that tightrope, which is kind of what they've been doing for weeks and weeks now with certain things that they've tried to do. And I think, I mean, we've talked about a lot of it, even when they tried to do the balance, uh, and a lot of people didn't like that. But they've opened up themselves to going by what the vast majority of the community says rather than looking at things from an actual game saving logical standpoint. They also take everybody's votes into consideration for things rather than excluding the votes that have literally no capability of giving any sound answers other than I don't know. Like, in my opinion, like when they did the actual, and I've said this 100 times, when they did the actual questionnaires, like they did with the economy forum, when they did the first nerf, 90, probably 98% of those answers were I don't know. 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 Like they got listed and all of them were I don't know of what got listed and there was over 23,000 that filled out that form and the vast majority of the answers that actually got publicly posted was I don't know. If you can't give an answer as to why you want something to be back to normal or whatever when they ask for a detailed answer or reason why or how you think this could help, to me that answer should be null and void and that vote should be null and void. Because that's not helping anybody. That's giving no real valid feedback as to what's going to make maybe the game better. And half those answers to with being I don't know is just for a pure selfish reason. Who is standing in front of me? Ah, Propocalypse. Nice, nice. I do have to say I like that skin better than the way it originally looks. And congratulations. Still absolutely a reskin though of a Polaris. Let me actually put my radar on. I I don't know, to be honest. I don't think anyone really cares about Kraken anymore, to be quite frank. No, it really doesn't. And going back to a little bit with that, like honestly, with their quote unquote balancing, like the aquarium too is not really balanced. Like there for the longest time until they came out with Frostworm and some other things, like it was literally just stacking my Leviathans on top of Leviathan on top of Leviathan. Like they wanted it to be where it's more about huntfish specifically did more in your aquarium than anything else. But by default, duplicates do less. So I don't know how duplicates of something is going to be better than a non-duplicate huntfish like the Kraken, for instance, which also its mini game is horrendous now. Is somehow better than a duplicated 3 times duplicated Leviathan. Like it's I don't even know. They like so much is a clusterfuck of crap. But no, I don't really think anybody cares about crack anymore. Besides, like you said, collection maybe. That one is not one of my collections. Like I'll get them during AA and collect those ones, but they're yeah, I don't really care for Kraken. I don't really care for Silas either, any like at all. They're pretty much, I think, worthless anymore too. I do still personally like Mosh Jaws and have been collecting those. I like my little colossal and ethereal and um ancient dragons, and I absolutely love my crystallized sea dragon. Um, but those are all my little personal collections. And then my sea